April 23rd, 2017. Undead from Cleveland, you're listening to VGN Radio with your host, Kevin Baird.
Brian Baird.
Don Anderson.
And Larry Mack.
All right, so we got a full crew. Yay! We haven't been on in a few weeks because technical stuff. Everybody was playing Easter last week, I guess. And I changed the name to VGN Radio instead of Video Game News Radio, so we can slowly make our transition to a show that's more about Cleveland instead of video games. But till that happens, we're going to do our top 20 titles of the week, video game style, drinking game. And the way this works is that if you never played before,
if you want to get drunk and hang out with a bunch of old men,
I'm going to list off 20 things, and if it's
first
not a
take
game,
off your pants.
You have to drink. You do not have to take off your pants.
You have to. Come on.
Brian thinks you do, but you don't.
You do.
It's completely pants optional at this point.
Goddamn right.
Number 20, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag for the PlayStation 4. Number 19, NCSoft Ncoin 4000 Ncoin. That's nothing. Just drink. 4,000 Ncoin costs $50. It's a huge waste of money. Whoever bought that. One person that bought that, I want you to know. Not a good idea. Number 18, Battlefield 1 for the Xbox One. Number 17, the Sony PlayStation 4 earphone. That's a drink.
The earphone's a drink?
Yeah, you don't...
I don't drink.
I don't actually have a beverage this week. I'm very upset about that. I didn't bring
Neither
my
do
iced
I.
tea upstairs.
I was in a hurry getting downstairs so I could quickly get on this show so I could laugh with all my friends.
Yeah, that's a good way to feel. Number 16, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands for PlayStation 4.
I'm trying to sneak up and you can eat my line. I'm fucked up.
Number 15, the Nintendo Joy-Con for the Nintendo Switch. I don't know why. It costs
So you dress
$72.
up like a furry animal and have somebody fuck you in the ass.
Something. Okay, I'm going to mute it now. Oh, I couldn't mute it. Hold on. Gonna mute. Okay. Larry, what are you drinking this week?
This week we are drinking the Sweetwater Brewing Company Extra Pale Ale 420.
Scary. Turn these back on.
And, nice and hoppy. Has a nice 420 taste to it.
Why is the camera next to your mouth, dude?
Because we can't hear him.
Because he has to talk straight into his phone because he's not using his computer.
Okay. I
So
was just
he's on
curious.
his
I wasn't
phone.
going to yell or nothing. I was just like, Jesus,
That's what I'm yelling.
teeth and... yeah. And giant eye.
I just see Larry who's just
Big
staring
tired eye.
into the
You're trying.
camera.
I know you think you have that really wide open, but it's really not. It just you no longer look Asian, like myself. And I try to open my eyes all wide, and it's just I was like, yeah, that's basically you have to have somebody pull on the back of my head really hard, and then maybe you'll see my eyes. But until then, no.
Number 14, Batman Arkham Knight for the Xbox One. Number 13, Tamagotchi Life for the 3DS. I think that's a game. I have no idea. Number 12, Sims 4 for the PC. Number 11, Ghost Recon Wildlands for the Xbox One. Number 10, the Nintendo Wii Remote plus Toad Edition for the Nintendo Wii. Just drink on that one.
Toad?
Yeah, Toad is like a character from Mario. He's like the little dude who makes the message that says, "Sorry, Mario, our princess is in another castle." And I guess he has a name, and his name is Toad.
That's cool, I guess.
I don't know. Number 9, Little Big Planet 3 for PlayStation 4. Don, what are you drinking? Water? Coke? Mountain Dew?
Water and a Coke.
P.
Number 8, classic USB NES controller. That's not a game. Drink.
Drinking.
Number 7, Nintendo selects Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon for the 3DS. Number 6, Grand Theft Auto 5 for the Xbox One.
Game's really dark.
Number 5, Gears of War 4 for the
Nice.
Xbox One. Number 4, the Joy-Con wheel for the Nintendo Switch controller. That's right, it's a piece of plastic that you snap the controller into, so it's in a wheel shape. $14 for that. Not even an official Nintendo product. It's the number 4 on our list because people just want it.
$14 for a fake plastic steering wheel.
Yeah, want a plastic wheel to play their no driving game in it. Number 3, Call of Duty Black Ops for the Xbox One. Number 2, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 for the Xbox
Greatest
One.
game ever.
Now $15. And number 1, up 269% this week, is the Diablo 3, Diablo 3 Battle Chest game code. $20 for PC. All right, so that's it for that.
Yay.
Let's catch up with everybody. Brian, tell us how your week went.
I spent most of my week in upstate New York. I had to spend an extra day out because one of the stores that I get infrequently, I no longer have them on my route because they close at 4. The guy who owns the store, his name's Vince. So if he's listening, which I know he's not, there's no possible way he probably could, but if he does,
Hey,
say
Vince.
hi. And his dad's name is also Vince, which I immediately felt really bad because I know what that's like having the same name as your parent. And then to get the phone calls like, is Bob there? And I was like, oh, Jesus.
Or when they think you're Bob.
They never. That would have been pre-puberty. It would have been impossible because I would have been like, "Hey!" I don't think anybody ever would have been like, "Hi, Dad, Bob, is that you?" And they were totally stupid. Okay, you know what? Yeah, now that I think about it, that did happen a few times. So yeah, I just spent a lot of time in upstate New York, and it was just driving on the road and stuff. So I've started playing Star Trek Online because it's one of those free-to-play sorts of things.
You like being Klingon, just tell the truth.
I like playing a female Klingon because I like watching them run around. They look hot. I got to be honest, the game is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's still a perfect world game, so good luck when you're on, when you beam down and then you got to like shoot stuff. And if you try to aim, you'll immediately aim at your own person and shoot them. It doesn't do anything, but you're just like, God damn it. And it's got a lot of, you could start off as part of the Klingon Empire, like we just mentioned, and they've got a lot of different races. The Gorn. You can be one of the Gorn, and you could actually make yourself look like the original ones when Kirk fought that one. And then I guess there's like a more modern one. Who knows?
Where your mouth doesn't move when you talk.
Yeah, it kind of moves. It's like basically you look like a sleeve stack, like a more modern sleeve stack on steroids. And I was like, okay, that's kind of badass. They've got a couple of the races I've never even heard of, but that's probably because I don't memorize or try to pronounce everything in Star Trek. It'd be crazy. You can be part of the Federation, Starfleet. And there's 2 different Starfleets. There's the modern one, and then there's the original one. And I played the original one, which I was actually happy about because it's just way more fun. And they have a lot of like scenes in all of them from like you'll run into characters that are either in parts of the movie, or the series or whatever, or they're directly related to it, like they were in a scene or some shit like that. They kind of explain it, so. If you're a Star Trek fan, it's not a bad game. It's worth checking out. It's not very hard, but take some time and patience and actually learn the game before you start playing it because it also isn't explained very well like most other Perfect World games. If you want to know about it, you got to sit there and do a lot of reading. We all know how much I like to read. And they have these pay for shit online if you want like just unlike Neverwinter where you can like buy all this ridiculous stuff. You probably never will use, except for maybe like 1 or 2 levels, then you level up. In Star Trek Online, you don't have to necessarily pay for stuff. You'll get some of it in the game. It's just that it gives you the option if you would rather pay for it differently than use some of the credit stuff that they've got, available. The different, their coins in the game, or you can just buy the shit online or whatever. The space combat is a lot of fun, and I was surprised by the different types of missions that they have too. It's not just go out there and kill me 10 space rabbits and bring them back. There's a lot of combat. There's a lot of running around, a lot of investigating stuff. Not a lot of milk runs. So thank God. I'm like, take me to the other side of the galaxy. I'd be like, fuck off. But I've had to like Google a lot of results, and at one point I was playing my Klingon chick, and I actually got stuck because I kept dying and I couldn't figure out how to keep my ship from constantly aiming at this one thing. They said, yeah, it's kind of buggy, and because of Perfect World, they'll probably never fix it. But they explained you have to hit the R3. I was like, oh, on the Xbox controller. It's also on the PS4 for people who are curious. Story-wise, it follows a really big story that do have player versus player, which I'm not doing because I just remember EVE Online and just getting smoked. The good news is if you die in this game as opposed to EVE Online, you can respawn in about 10 seconds or whatever. And even though it does put you back a little bit, which is a pain in the ass, that's pretty much the end of your punishment. You come back and you just keep playing. EVE Online, if your ship gets destroyed, unless you have insurance, your ship gets destroyed and your shit's gone. You also have, I've compared it to Neverwinter because it's the only other Perfect World game I've ever played. Neverwinter, you have a little companion that runs along. Of course, the companion only gets up to, if you're lucky, you can level that character up to level 40, and it takes a lot to have that to happen. So, it's like a little meat shield that just kind of distracts people, it's like having a little retarded brother. You just like throw at animals to distract them so you can collect, newspaper money. Not that I'm talking from experience or nothing.
Hey.
And Star Trek, you've got a shit ton of you got your people. You say you're away. Was it your landing party and your bridge crew? And then as the game goes on, you get an entire ship full of people that you can send to go off on these little. Basically you just say, yeah, go on over to this other place and do this for me. You don't go with them, but they'll basically buff up different experience that you'll end up putting into your character and your ship. It's pretty intense. I mean, not intense. I'm sorry. It's pretty, involved. But everybody's listened to this show long enough knows I'm not into involved sorts of things. I'm not the biggest star. I'm not like Larry. Larry can tell you all kinds of shows on Star Trek, and I'm not the biggest fan. But I do enjoy. I enjoyed the show and stuff. I'm still watching it on Netflix and stuff, along with about 7 billion other shows. If you are casually curious, you might find it interesting, but there's better MMOs out there. If you like Star Trek, you'll probably get a kick out of the game. If you're really into Star Trek, you're going to find all kinds of shit to like, I believe. And you can play the Romulans as well. There's Romulans, and then you can make your own alien, and that was sort of like when I was playing City of Heroes. And you sit there for like 24 hours just making fucking heroes and shit. Well, the alien maker, I was just like making like some sort of fish-looking dude, and just like different colors and stuff. And if I was stoned, I would have been like, oh my god, I could sit here for hours. But that's it. Romulans don't have anybody else, so you get sidekicks that show up. They kind of like join your landing party, and they'll talk to you in character. When they're like telling you stuff. I actually have a Borg Klingon female that like got assigned to my ship. I'm like, okay, is this safe?
Nice.
So, there's different storylines. Like, it's not like if you join one of the, like, you all do the same thing. You can do some of the same, missions or whatever, because some of the stories do cross over. But like the Romulans are dealing with the Borg. The Klingons have all that in-house fighting, and they're trying to decide if they're going to be cool with the Romulans or the Federation. But mostly, you get to just blow them the fuck up. And the Federation's all over the fucking place. The toughest I've fought so far, besides the Borg and the Jem'Hadar, which are no fun. I'm not them. I'm sorry, the Cardassians. But your ship is, if you're going up against like little like frigates, you just smoke them, and then they're like, oh, here comes their battle cruiser. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake, So you have to learn how to keep up your shields and balance out different stuff. So I'm enjoying it. It's a nice little time kill between now and when I finally die. So Star Trek Online, it's a lot of fun. Besides that, I haven't done shit. I've got go see the doctor because of my sleep thing. There's a moderate sleep apnea, which I'm like, of course. you want my money. I get it. So I got to take that to the Department of Transportation doctor and somehow get those two to talk to each other. And then the next 48 hours, or I probably won't be allowed to drive a truck, but that's fine. I don't care.
Do you have to wear that crazy mask when you sleep?
If it keeps me from looking like I got done smoking a joint when I wake up, because sometimes I wake up, man, and it's just like my eyes are all red, my face hurts. I know I was snoring really hard, and I'm like, maybe lose some weight. That'd be good, But even when I was thin, I got that from Dad. I was like, "Rah!" When he was snoring and shit, it was ridiculous. So thanks, Dad. I got that from you. That's great. So hopefully when I wake up, I can actually stay awake a little bit longer than a few hours at a stretch, and then also spend like the next 12 hours of my day, like just sort of not really energetic at all, not really sleepy, just sort of like one step away from it. And it's just like, I can't take this much more. It's just killing me. And so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anderson?
Huh, what?
How was your month?
Put your thing back in your pants, Billy.
Oh, let me put my pants back on. Hold on. It's been all right.
Kevin, that conversation we had, the text thing we were talking about Dad and stuff, that was some funny shit.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious.
My turn.
Go ahead, sorry.
My turn.
Go ahead.
My turn. Oh, right. Nothing. I've done nothing over the past couple of weeks. I bought a new car. Finally got a car.
Really? What'd you get?
I got a 09 Honda Accord.
Oh, cool.
Pretty much I walked into the dealership and was like, listen, dude, here's what I've got. Here's what I can spend every month. I need a car. And he called me. He was like, give me a day. He called me back the next day. He calls me back the next day and he's like, all right, I got this 09 Honda Accord. And I was like, okay, interesting. What else do you got? And he goes, no, you don't understand. That's it. For the money you got to put down, no trade in, blah, 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 blah. He goes, that's pretty much the only car I can get you.
There's broken glass and some blood splatter. Don't worry about that.
No. So I said, you know what? I can clean up the blood. No big deal. I'll take it.
My car. My car's a 2005. So.
Oh, see, look at me, all fancy and shit. But so I got that. So now I'm just waiting to put that into a fire hydrant. See what happens. I'm just like, I think I should. I was driving it home. I was like, I think I'm just supposed to do it on principle. Just basically just do it. So, but I didn't. And let's see, what else is there? I've had Sophie for over a week now. I just took her home finally an hour and a half ago. And so that was always
go to school, or
huh?
Does she go to school, or do you just have?
Well, yeah, she was on spring break though.
Oh.
So she had that going for her. And then I just took my mom to the airport today. We're shipping her out of here. Shipped her to Scotland for a couple weeks.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, she wanted to go on vacation. She wanted to go to Scotland.
It's just you and your dad now, huh?
Yeah. So
come over here, boy, and rub my bunions.
I walked in tonight after dropping Sophie off, and he's like, "Look at here. Now that your mother's gone, we got to get some stuff done."
Take off your pants.
I'm like, what are you talking about? And he like opens the fridge. He's like, we got to get all this stuff in here that's useless and old, and we're not going to eat. Throw it out. I'm like, Dad, I got a show to do. I can't be cleaning the fridge.
Just goes in there, starts choking the fuck out of you. You'll do it now.
Right? He's like, you'll do it. You did, no. So I got that to look forward to. But yeah, same old stuff. Cheesecake. Coming home, doing stuff here, cleaning sheds and doing work around here. My brother came over the other day and was doing gardening outside, and they were like, hey, you want to come out and help? And I was like, dude, I live here and I don't do that. Why would I want to help you now? The reason you're here is because I won't do it. So, but yeah, other than that, just watching the parents, the kid. I mean, there's probably other exciting stuff that's happened. Adam, oh, jeez. I mean, I could go on for hours about this guy. But I got mad at him last week because he called me up and he was like, hey, you got any money I can borrow? It's just like,
Jesus
who are you?
Christ.
Did you get a wrong number?
Fucking rock bottom. Goddamn.
It's like, did you call the wrong person?
How bad is your life when Anderson?
Yeah, that's it. Like, there's nobody past Donnie. There's nobody.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's just a big fucking black pit full of stars. And
When Anderson is your
else.
rich friend who has money to loan out.
I'm like one of the teeth of the Sarlacc pit. That's how down low I am.
Just
Yeah.
completely fucking crazy thing.
But then his reasoning is like, well, I figured you've been working for a couple days. Maybe you had a couple bucks. And I'm like, what are you looking for? And he's like, I don't know, maybe like $100. I'm like, dude. I go, and at that time I said, let me count the money in my pocket. And I pulled the money out of my pocket. I'm like, I got $145. I was just walking out of work. I'm like, I got $145 in my pocket, and I got $20.
He was watching you.
And I got $20 in my bank account. So I have less than $200 to my name because I just bought this car, so I put all my money into that. And he goes, oh, well, I remember you got that check from your parents a little while ago. And I go, what do you mean, 3 months ago? And I go, the one that I paid off all my delinquent bills with, that I told I remember that when I told everybody, I was like, I got this check, so I'm paying off all these bills. I'm trying to fix my credit, da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, well, yeah, I figured you still had some of that. And I was like, what part of paying off my bills don't you understand? I took it all and paid off bills. Well, I figured you had some just hanging around. I figured you've been working and stuff. I'm like, dude, I can give you $40. And he's like, well, that'd be cool. And I go, good. Because it turns out he's been going to American Apparel stores.
Oh no.
Which this American Apparel over here has been closing down. They're going out of business, and all their clothes are like super discounted. And he spent all his money buying all these fancy clothes and new clothes and stuff. And now he doesn't have money for gas or food. And he's like, yeah, I went to the store and I bought this new polo shirt and this new button-up shirt, and I got these jeans that fit me. And
where the fuck does he wear it?
well, that's the thing. It's number one, he's not going to wear it because it's in his house collecting dust. And then the other thing is, it's like, hey, wait a minute. You can't put the clothes in your gas tank, or you can't eat them. I mean, you could, but you can't really eat them and be nourished. But now you're calling me for money so you can get food? I was like, how does that even make sense? Well, the stuff was all discounted. They're going out of business. This is the last chance I had to get it. Oh, okay. So, needless to say, I drove over to his house in my new car. I go, here's $40.
Where'd you get the car? You got no money, huh?
Right. I give him $40, and he goes, hey, thanks. I'll add that to my 20, and now I've got 60. I'm like, dude, you have money? Like, why are you asking me for? If you got $20, put half of it in your gas tank and go buy some bread and some peanut butter and jelly, and you'll be good for the week.
Because now he's got 60.
Right, and now I'm out 40 until he decides to pay me back, which he did.
Never.
He did. But it's just like, what are you doing, dude? And then this other dude I know called me up today and was like, do you got 20 or 30 bucks you can lend me? I'm like, what the?
Jesus.
What do I got? When did I become a bank? When did I become everybody's financial institution?
Maybe you
should charge
Mr. Collar
interest.
in life. Yeah.
No, it just tells you that between all the people that I know, that I'm on a higher tax level than most of them. Obviously. I mean, it's got to be something like that.
That must have been just one crazy fucking mental conversation that they must have had with themselves before they called you.
Right, and that's the other thing. Yeah, I kind of feel bad because it's like, geez, they had to get up the nerve to ask me for money.
Yeah, like, goddamn, I gotta ask Anderson for money. That's just fucked up.
Yeah,
he's all I got. He's all I got left.
My last chance. Anderson,
yeah.
My last chance.
It's this where I have to throw a brick through a fucking window, like in Les Miserables. Get tossed into fucking prison for a loaf of bread because I spent all my money on a pair of fucking Gucci pants or some shit. Jesus Christ.
Right. I think it's an American Apparel.
Weirdos.
Yeah, so that's
agonizing over. Damn, this guy's so bad off. He had to come to me. He's
right.
worse than me. Fuck.
That's the other part of it. Is like, wow, you must really be. I got to do what I can to help you, man. Plus, Adam gave me all those rides to work, so.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm like, okay, I can help you with something.
Now that you got a car, you must have been looking like you were styling with your new car and shit. You must have been like.
Nobody asked him if that was a new car. They probably thought he borrowed somebody else's.
Everybody thought I stole it.
Yeah.
Everybody who came over, they went to my parents. They were like, "Oh, you guys got a new car?" And they're like, "No, it's Donald's." They're all looking at me like, really? I'm like, yes, it's mine. Got it on my own. With my own credit, my own big boy credit.
Dude, it'd be about the same if I went to go buy a car. It'd be exactly the same. Because I'd be like, yeah, I got a new car. People would be like, you did? Like, yeah, I know. I've never really bought one.
It's like, who co-signed for it? Nobody did.
Exactly, yeah. It's like, oh, I make the money. Like, yeah, well, we've seen your credit because you never pay your bills. I do, just the ones that matter.
Yeah.
You know, like electricity, phone, stuff like that.
You still driving Mom's truck?
Yeah.
Oh.
For now.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll last a whole lot longer, but Jody got a more, I won't say brand new car, but it's a lot newer than the other piece of shit that she had. The vibe's long gone. And, you know, she's paying that down, so I don't think it'd be smart for me rolling that right now. Just only add another car payment into our lives. I mean, I'm sure I could afford it, but that would take my money away from like Star Trek Online and stuff like that. So.
Okay. Let me turn the music down. Hold on.
Listen to Larry's story.
So we can hear Larry speak.
This should be good.
Looking really loud, also our ears are bleeding.
Yeah.
He'll be talking and his eyes will start. We'll all be like, oh my God, where's that blood coming from on your mouth?
Larry, how was your month?
Here it
I'm a
comes.
shiftless hobo, so there's that. We're going through the whole thing with buying a house, and I don't even remember at what point in the in that adventure we last checked in on our hero.
Well, you said you were going to be homeless.
But
And
We had a nice laugh over that.
yeah, so I'm homeless. I'm living in a friend's guest room. I put an offer on one house. The underwriters killed it. I put an offer on another house. They accepted my offer, but they wanted me to let them live in the house for like another month while they looked for a place. Put an offer on another house.
so you said
They
no,
already-
basically. You put in an offer, and then you're like, no.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, that's great. We just need 30 days because you know we're still looking for a house. I was like, yeah, it's fine. We can hold off on the closing. They're like, no, we still want to close on time. We just want to live in the house. And I was like, yeah, that's no. I was like, that's no problem. Like my parents did the same thing when they sold their house because, like, my dad's like retirement stuff wasn't done yet, and like they sold their house, but they weren't ready to move yet, so they just like paid the buyer's rent for like that month or whatever. And apparently, me wanting them to pay me rent to live in the house after I bought it was completely unreasonable. I was just supposed to go ahead, you know, like, you guys keep living there, and I'll just take over the mortgage payment, and you let me know when you.
Right.
Can you imagine you're fucking living in the house with Larry and you don't know him? And Larry doesn't know them? That would just be the craziest fucking situation.
So, see, then the next one, I put an offer on a house, and they had already accepted an offer and just didn't tell us.
Oh,
Like,
that's nice.
oh, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have gone and looked at it because we already accepted the offer. And meanwhile, I was already grinding out the clock on my apartment, so then that lease went away. So I was homeless, and now I'm living in my friend Mindy's guest room. So I got that going for me. But,
You're living in somebody's guest room.
She
Go
just
ahead,
doesn't.
Mom.
She just doesn't know that he's
Yeah,
living in
yeah,
the restaurant.
yeah. I'm sure the 40. Jesus Christ.
Larry's on the moon, folks. We just
Yeah.
waiting for him to come
The
back.
40 boxes, you know, that he had in the back of his car.
So no, I have finally found a house, and they have accepted my offer, and we are actually into the whole underwriting and appraisal and stuff. So, fingers crossed, May 19th I should be closing on a house, and I will be moving again. So,
You mean you're getting kicked out?
right. Well, yeah, that's coming as well. But so because of course all my friends
Get out!
you know, are as old and beat up as me, I checked out the services of that two guys in a truck,
Yeah.
and So
That wasn't the moving company. There was just two guys in it.
they did a great job for me. I had already
Threw your shit in the back.
all my stuff in the storage unit, and I had moved most of it already. All I needed them for was like the
They
furniture.
don't speak English.
They came in, boom, 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 easy peasy, done. $600 for about 2.5 hours of work.
Because if
Yeah.
you don't pay them, your shit's gone.
Right. So, let's see what else. I've been chilling out, drinking beers, smoking, watching lots of Netflix. So I've been catching up on some crazy movies. So I know everyone misses my movie reviews. I had a chance to check out the cinematic masterpiece, Zombievers.
Oh, God.
And, oh yeah, exactly. It's,
Christ-like.
well, like I was cool with the whole zombie beaver thing. I was like, okay, retarded, but it is what it is. You go in knowing it's going to be retarded, so I was okay with that. But then when they like bit the people, and the people grew like beaver tails and like big buck teeth,
Well, yeah. What do you expect?
I was like, really.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. What else have I been up
You have dispensed with all forms of reality by accepting the fact that there was undead beavers. You can't really go,
like, but there are levels. Like, you can.
There's degrees. I hear you, but no.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can take certain things, but. What else have I been up to? That's really it. I've been chilling out. I've been drinking just a dumb amount of alcohol.
Awesome.
Looking for more bar trivia joints for trivia night. Where I'm staying at, she doesn't have cable, so I had to go hang out with Soprano Rob and his family so I could watch the Walking Dead season finale. So I'm also crashing at people's houses to watch stuff on TV sometimes.
Okay.
That's fine.
Kevin, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? You guys never talked about Wasteland. You guys went to Wasteland. And
Oh, yeah.
I talked about it on Tumbling with Tumbleweed Tuesday nights at 11.
I talked to it to myself. I had a lot of fun. I actually got to see my friend Tony. Then he was like the first dude I was made friends with when I moved to North Olmsted. So I've known him for way over 20 plus years, and we had a nice long conversation. It was really great talking with him and getting caught up on a bunch of crazy shit, and got really drunk. I had bought a bottle of Jim Beam Apple, which tastes kind of fruity until the Jim Beam part kicks in, and then you feel like you're on fire. And I bought a big fucking jar of moonshine cherries. And I didn't get through those, and I kept trying to get people to eat them, and people were like, "Oh, these aren't bad. I've had some of these before." And then they'd eat it, and they're like, "Oh God," Like, yeah, it's moonshine. This is Ohio, all right. We're not fucking around here. We gotta get crazy drunk. And I bought a bunch of stuff for just about everybody. I bought myself the movie Dolomites. It's on Blu-ray. It's in my house here somewhere. I don't know where to fucking put it. Yeah. It looks like it'll be great. And let me see. I didn't meet anybody. I saw people that were famous, but I didn't care. I just wanted to buy toys, to hang out with people, get stupid drunk. And Anderson was there, which was great. As soon as he shows up,
Party.
Yeah, completely.
Let's make fun of people.
Yeah. Just the look on Don's face when they're talking to me, just looks at him like, go away.
All that cackling.
Yeah. That got old after a while. And yeah.
Okay. What did I do? Yard work. Done a lot of yard work. I got my lungs scanned, and this is the joy of my life. Okay. So I got this. For a little backstory, I got this spot on my lung that they found a while ago, 3 years ago, and I have to get it scanned every year to make sure it hasn't grown. And this was supposed to be the last scan. If it didn't grow this time, right, then everything's fine. So I go and I get the scan, and it says it's stable. Hasn't grown. Everything's great. My doctor writes in the little thing and says...
He's dying.
He says, it's stable, everything looks good. However, I'm going to refer you to pulmonary for next steps or if there's anything else that has to happen. So this is like sharing the money, basically. So next up on my list is to go to fucking pulmonary, and I got a feeling they're going to want to do a biopsy, and that's going to mean me fucking getting stabbed with a giant needle, or somebody shoving something down my throat.
I'm in your ass.
Yeah, and
Let's see what's in here.
So they can look at this thing. I'm hoping that's not the... I mean, I'm just hoping the guy's like, why are you here? I mean, I don't know. My doctor just told me...
That's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Come on.
Just go away. You don't need to be here. I know. It sucks. I'm so tired.
It's so going to be fucked up.
I'm so tired of fucking this stupid shit with this hospital crap.
We're getting old.
Yeah, but I'm getting all of this crap like there's something wrong, and there's nothing really wrong, but I gotta
They're
go.
wiping us out, dude, for being extincted.
I haven't smoked or anything.
Doesn't matter.
1 month.
You're a Baird, goddammit. We have to go.
Driver's ed. So there's nothing. Oh, that's just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot my doctor news. I had my annual physical with the doctor, and I hope you guys are sitting, because this is some shocking.
You're in perfect health.
I'm fat and I drink too much. So,
Just imagine the doctor. You're fat and you drink too much. Get out.
She was talking about something, and
Just looked at you all sour as you walk in. Jesus Christ.
Fat levity into it. So I was like, I mean, really though, doesn't matter.
The doctor said they're praying, don't let me play with this guy's asshole.
Yeah, I was like, how much longer can I really have that?
Oh, God. Not another asshole patient.
Age and results, you've probably got 2 or 3 years.
He's got shit on the floor, isn't he?
So enjoy me while you can, people.
2 or 3 more years? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I got 2 or 3 years.
You know what I think it is, Larry? I think, like, your internet connection isn't good. I think, like, you're not getting a good signal. Like, because sometimes you come in and you sound good. And then other times it like, switches and you sound like an 8-bit version of Larry. So I think it's your cell signal is not good. I know there's nothing you can do about it. I'm just saying I don't think it's your microphone. I think your cell signal's weak. No big deal.
Next week I will call from the car and we will get that addressed.
As opposed to like when Anderson used to do it over dial-up in the middle of somewhere Ohio where the Amish lived and gave him shit.
Where nobody lived.
And he would just spontaneously drop his connection. So you sound better than that anyway.
Because the wife would slap his phone out of his hands.
Yeah. She'd come in the room and be like, aren't you done yet?
All right, let's do a little bit of news. Oh, God. It's all Cleveland news this week. All Cleveland news. Because it's more entertaining than the video game news.
You got to bring up our number one news thing we had here, of course.
No.
What, Stevie Steve? The killer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need to
Putting
talk
us
about it.
on the
Everybody
map.
already knows that whole story. Ain't nothing to say about that. Except that everybody gets ridiculously stupid. Like, they're not going to go out of their houses and shit. I'd like everybody in
I
Cleveland to
love
know
those, dude.
that if you listen to this show, you know that somebody gets shot in the face once a day. Jennifer Circasia will tell you this story. But because this guy filmed it, now everybody's afraid to go out because there was a killer on the loose. A killer...
If you live in Cleveland, and you live over in Glenville where this happened, you're already scared to go out of your house.
Yeah, and it was so dangerous that he went to McDonald's and had to wait to get his French fries before he
In
shot
Pennsylvania.
himself.
He got wiped out in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
As opposed to here in Ohio, Northern Ohio, where there's a billion cops on the highway at any given time writing speeding tickets, and that guy just weaved right through all of them, going the regular speed, because if you're not fucking speeding, crime doesn't pay, so they're not going after you.
A 20-year-old man was robbed at gunpoint Monday by his childhood friend during a botched drug deal. He was not injured in the robbery that happened just after 11 p.m. on 20th Street Southwest, just east of Interstate 76. This is in Akron, according to a police report. The man said he was walking his friend out of a home when his friend pulled a gun on him and demanded his wallet, phone, and keys, the report says. The victim told his friend he would give him his keys, but wouldn't give him anything else. His friend took his keys and got into a black Ford Fusion with two other men and drove away, the report says. Police referred the victim to the city's prosecutor's office for review. The friend was not arrested.
Well, call somebody who cares.
Those are not good friends to have. Kind of to rob you. But not just take your wallet, but your wallet, your keys, and your phone.
Right.
And then
your clothes.
You're like,
no.
no.
Guess you should have loaned the dude $40.
There you go.
Detectives are searching for an Akron man who is charged in a fatal shooting in the city's North Hills neighborhood. Kenneth DeLindsey Jr., 32, is charged with murder in the shooting that happened Wednesday morning on Pine Knolls Drive near Dan Street, police said. Lindsay is not in custody, but a warrant has been issued for his arrest. Lindsay shot a 32-year-old man in the chest just before 7 a.m., police said.
Bam!
The victim died after paramedics took him to Summa Akron City Hospital.
No, that's not
So he would have lived until they took him there. The Summit County Medical Examiner's Office has not released the victim's identity. Lindsay was last seen in a silver 2005 Chevy Impala with the Ohio license plate number GTJ5599. He should be considered armed and dangerous, police said. You just say he should be considered
armed, but not dangerous.
Yeah, could he just be considered dangerous? That'd be pretty good. Televangelist Ernest Angley has closed the Cathedral Buffet weeks after a federal judge ordered him to pay more than $388,000 in damages and back wages to employees who the U.S. Department of Labor found worked as unpaid volunteers. The buffet's website simply states that starting April 18th, the Cathedral Buffet will be closed to the public. We are now closed to the public. We've always kept our prices low so whole families can afford dinner out, said a woman who answered the phone. We've never made a profit, but we can't do it without volunteers. The restaurant opened in 1971 adjacent to the Reverend Rex Humbard's Cathedral of Tomorrow. In 1994, the cathedral was sold to Angley's ministry and rededicated to Grace, or as Grace Cathedral. He continued to operate the buffet.
At least we got something out of this disaster, I guess.
My bad.
Sorry. That's all we had to say about that. The Ernest Angley buffet is closed.
Oh, that's a bummer.
An Akron man has agreed to serve between 15 and 20 years in federal prison after pleading guilty Tuesday to federal terrorism-related charges. This is in Cleveland. Terrence McNeil, 24, is accused of posting files on his social media pages in 2015 that contain the names and addresses of people believed to be members of the military. Included in the files were messages encouraging others to kill those people, according to the FBI. He did all this to support the Islamic State, a terrorist group also known as ISIS or ISIL, prosecutors said. McNeil entered into an agreement in which he has agreed to serve between 15 and 20 years in federal prison. He pleaded guilty to 5 counts of solicitation to commit a crime of violence, 5 counts of making threatening interstate communications.
The guy's last name is McNeil, and he's trying to join ISIS.
If U.S. District Judge Dan Polster accepts the plea agreement, he must sentence McNeil within that range. The judge will sentence McNeil on August 2nd. McNeil plea comes a week
fat white guy with a fucking bunch of scribbled stuff on that he saw online to make it look like he knows how to speak Arabic. I'm joining. No, you're not. You're not Arabic. I'm doing it.
If he would have gone to trial, they say he probably would have faced life in prison. So be careful what you're sending around on your social media networks.
Even though they're not supposed to be watching them, they are still watching them.
You're wishing people dead. and you swear your allegiance to ISIS, you're going down. Going down for a long time. The Stark County Sheriff's Office located the body of homicide suspect Dustin Ray White, 39, of Osnaburg Township. White died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, according to Stark County Sheriff George T. Mayer. On Sunday morning, a group of hunters located a vehicle parked in a remote area near the 7700 block of Hill Church Avenue.
What?
Stark County Sheriff's Office discovered White dead inside the vehicle from self-inflicted gunshot wounds, according to police.
Jesus Christ. You sit there just looking at this card like, well, we didn't get any deer, but we found a body.
Hey, look at Snickers. White was wanted for aggravated murder and the death of his estranged
There's
wife.
blood all over it. I just wipe it off my pants. Yeah.
It's delicious.
I'm hungry. Bite down.
Deputies were called at 12:28 p.m. to a home in the 7400 block of Hill Church Avenue Senior for a reported shooting. At the home, deputies located the body of Amber, his estranged wife, not Amber.
Oh.
Not Amber Miller.
She went to Michigan, didn't she?
Not yet, but soon. I'm assuming. I don't actually talk to her. So just assuming she's moving to Michigan soon. Now that she's a nurse there. Somebody has to give her a job, though. I think that's part of it. Robbers, this is in Cleveland, who killed the owners of a car dealership on the city's east side, stole surveillance equipment, killed the woman as she tried to run out of a back door, and shot the family dog, Cleveland police said at a press conference Friday. See what I'm saying? One guy films it and puts it on Facebook. Nobody wants to go outside. Some guy wipes out the whole family and the dog. Nobody gives a fuck. Deputy Cleveland Police Chief Ed Tomba said the investigators believe the business was targeted, meaning the incident that left Michael Kuznick and Trina Tomolo dead was more calculated than just a random robbery and car theft. The family dog, Axel, might provide clues, as investigators believe that it might have bitten one of the robbers, and its mouth might contain his or her
Axel,
DNA.
can you find the bad guys? I sure can. Let's go.
No arrests have been made in the case. Tomba said investigators requested that the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner swab the slain dog's mouth for forensic evidence. That's a very unusual request from our homicide detectives, but one that's a possibility, Tomba said. Any type of potential evidence is something we have to look at. Tomba said investigators have pored over the case for a week since the bodies of Kuznick, 47, and Tomola, 46, were found inside Mr. Car Sales on East 185th Street and Hiller Avenue. The two divorced in 2011, but reconciled and ran the business together. Anyway, they're dead now.
Like you would think if you were going to check out the dead dog for evidence, that's something you would eventually kind of want to decide whether or not you're going to do it. It's been a week. The dog's just been laying somewhere for a week. Hey, are we doing anything with that thing or not? Like, because we'd like to get rid of it.
Still laying.
That's it. They actually got interviewed on the news because they were talking about how bad the neighborhood is, and the cops take like 6 hours to show up, and like a week later they were just dead. Huh?
Yeah, it's East 185th.
Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking about opening up a car dealership there, but
Yeah.
That's where the old TRW used to be.
Cops got better things to do than get killed.
yeah, I'd write speeding tickets.
A 30-year-old father threatened to kill his two young children after abducting them, then rammed a police cruiser during a chase, according to police. The man, who has not been formally charged, is expected to face several felony charges in the incident Thursday that prompted an Amber Alert for his two young daughters, aged 9 months and 2 years. You know, I got that Amber Alert, and then literally like a minute later, it was like, everything's fine. We found the kids. Like, that was really quick.
I don't question you.
Wake out of a dead sleep.
Because I have yet to find any of those children in my living room while I'm watching TV and see the Amber Alert.
The two children were not harmed during the incident and were returned to their mother, police said. The incident began about 3 p.m. when the man got angry after going through his girlfriend's cell phone, according to police reports.
Stealing your kids.
He packed his clothes in a bag, broke his girlfriend's cell phone, and left for his mother's house, police reports
I'm
said.
going to Mother's.
Cleveland later checked messages he had sent to his mother, including one of a photo of him burning her clothes that said, "This is how my day is going," police reports say. The woman said she later went next door to talk to her neighbor when the 30-year-old man pulled up and started packing more clothes. The woman told police she watched him take a computer from her car and put it in his, according to police reports. The woman went outside and the man shoved her to the ground. The two tussled, and the woman told police she heard one of her daughters crying inside the man's car. The man jumped in his car and sped off, nearly hitting the woman, police reports say. The woman reported the incident to police at the 4th District Police Station. While there, the man sent text messages to his mother, who was also at the police station, saying that he was going to kill himself and the two kids, according to police reports. He also texted that he was going to die via death by cop, police reports say.
That's the new thing.
Officers searching for the man found him driving on East 151st and Bartlett Avenue, according to police. The officers tried to stop his car, and the officers got out of the car when he stopped. The man threw his car in reverse and rammed a police cruiser with the kids still inside the car. No officer was injured. He then sped off on Bartlett. He's lucky he had those kids in this car, because with Cleveland police, they would have. He probably shot him 150 times.
Just to be safe.
Yeah.
And for everybody listening at home, you may notice a recurring theme here. Once again, involved in the story is the phrase East 100 and.
Typically, sometimes west. It
is the neutral
25th.
zone.
You get some inner west streets.
Although, like, she was talking to her friend, so like, the first episode was he smashed her phone, burned her clothes, stormed out of the place, and her first inclination was to like walk over to her friend's house and like, "Can you believe that shit? Oh look, he's coming back. Oh, there he is. Huh. Wonder what he's gonna do. Oh, he's taking my computer now. Fuck.
Guess I'll have to go fight him in the yard."
Damn it. Oh, that's my kid. Shit. Probably going back to the moms.
And the last one for this week. Cleveland. A road rage incident on Cleveland's Fulton Road Bridge escalated when a woman passenger pulled out a gun and fired several rounds at another driver.
Jesus.
No one was hurt, but one bullet did strike a third vehicle as it drove in the area. Sierra Perez Rodriguez, 22, is charged with second-degree felonious assault and having a weapon under disability. The man driving the car in which she was a passenger, Jonathan DeJesus, 29, is also charged with felonious assault, according to court records. They both appeared for arraignment at Cleveland Municipal Court, where a judge on Monday bound their cases over to a Cuyahoga County grand jury. Perez Rodriguez.
I ain't time for this. I gotta go golfing.
Bond is set at $50,000, and DeJesus was set at $5,000. The shooting happened around midnight, April 13th, as the cars approached the Fulton Road Bridge near the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo, according to a Cleveland police report. A woman was headed toward the bridge when a Chrysler Pacifica tried to merge into her lane and nearly struck her car, the report says. The woman beeped her horn and avoided a collision, but Perez Rodriguez pulled out a pistol and fired several rounds at the woman's car, the report says.
Jesus.
When the woman slammed on her brakes to avoid the gunfire, the Pacifica continued driving. A third driver went to the police station a short while later. He said he was traveling behind the woman's car when the front of his vehicle was struck by one of the bullets, the report says. Police searched the area and found a Pacifica parked behind a Memphis Avenue tavern less than a mile from the shooting scene. How convenient. Perez Rodriguez and DeJesus were both inside the bar and matched the description of the driver and passenger involved in the shooting. Perez Rodriguez also wore a pouch around her waist in which police found a handgun, magazines, and several containers with suspected cocaine and marijuana, the report says. After the duo's arrest, a police officer asked the judge to give Perez Rodriguez a high bond because she was already out on bond on a charge of assaulting a police officer. That happened August 11th when she spit on officers and threw a Pepsi bottle at them as they arrested relatives and friends during a sweep in her neighborhood on West 80th Street near Detroit Avenue. A police officer struck Perez Rodriguez during the fray, and a bystander's cell phone video of the encounter garnered widespread attention. Perez Rodriguez pleaded guilty March 16th to felony harassment by inmate, assault on an officer, and obstruction. She was sentenced Tuesday to 6 months in county. There you go. That's Cleveland's news this week.
And the
Back
Cavs.
to video games. No. Castro? That was your good say?
I was going to say the Cavaliers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do Cleveland news, you're going to have to cover sport.
No, I'm not going to. Because we had a show about sports, and that didn't go so well. You fell asleep.
A lot.
Larry got angry. We had some guy from Arizona, wasn't even in Cleveland, talking about shit from Arizona. Wasn't good. Games coming out this week. Monday, multi-platform, we have Carnage Chronicles. For the PlayStation 4, we have Static. Tuesday, multi-platform, we have Crossout, Eventide Slavic Fable, Outlast 2, Outlast Trinity, Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, Siberia 3, Valhalla Hills, and What Remains of Edith Finch. And for PC on Tuesday, Intercosmos and Pinstripe. Wednesday, for PC, we have Stalker Lost Alpha. And then Thursday, multi-platform, we have Desire Remaster Version, Dragon Ball Heroes Ultimate Mission X. For PC, we have Expeditions Viking. And Brian's been waiting for this one. Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War 3.
Yep.
And then for PlayStation Vita, God Wars Future Past. Finally, on Friday, multi-platform, we have Little Nightmares. PlayStation Vita, we have Period Cube, Shackles of Amadeus.
Oh, rock me, Amadeus.
What does that even mean? Like, that doesn't even sound like, it doesn't sound like anything. It sounds like a bunch of nonsense. And PlayStation 4, River City Melee, Battle Royale SP. So that's the games coming out this week. We don't have any email this week, so no email. But maybe next week. You can write into whatever you want at videogamenews.com. If you want to write into Larry at videonews.com, you can do that. If you want to write into I Love Xbox at videogamenews.com, that's fine. You could write into whatever you want, and it'll all come to me at videogamenews.com.
Oh.
That's it for the show. You guys got any shout-outs or anything?
No.
Shut up.
We couldn't hear Larry's anyway. There was a shout-out.
Shout out to my new car.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's all right.
Do you like it better than your old car?
Well, yeah, seeing as how it's been crushed and demolished for a long time now, yes. See, compared to the car I had before it, which is nothing.
Well, I mean, you had that one car that you had to use that's like, you wouldn't want to park in the driveway because it was leaking stuff, and then
Right.
it was frozen at one point, so you had to use a very bright light in order to warm it up. That car, that didn't sound like a very good car. Just
Well, it
saying.
was a great car. It's just sometimes I put water in the, radiator during the middle of winter, and when it was 20 below, everything just freezes. I'm dumb like that.
I've done that.
You know, shit happens.
All right, we'll be back
Tumbleweed, Tuesday nights at 11.
Tuesday nights at 11. We'll be back next week. That's it. Good night.
Peace. Grease for peace.
Wait,
It's going to take me 5 minutes now to shut everything down, but you guys can go. Thanks.
no, I'm going to sit here and mock you the whole time.
I'm out.
Later.
See ya.